Previously on Adam Hills Tonight.
I have to go to London between this show and the next show. And if all goes well, I'll be back here on the morning of our next show.
He's taken on the last leg. Now he's here in the flesh. It's Adam Hills!
Hello, London! Just recording Adam on stage. Oh no, that's me. That's me. Quite nice. That's better than Adam. Keep on that.
Do you know what? I want to tell you a story tonight. This is my bike. This is Russ. He's going to take me to Heathrow. I've got an hour and a quarter to get there. If I don't make it, someone else is going to have to host my show. Hopefully. I'll see you behind the desk.
Thank you and good evening, and welcome to Adam Hills Tonight. I'm not Adam Hills, I'm Sean McAuliffe. I'm standing in for Adam, who has, unfortunately, he didn't make it back from the UK, so I'll be hosting the show for him tonight instead. Oh. Good. Now, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, tonight's our guests are comedian Stephen K. Amos.
Sean, what are you doing?
Oh, hi, Adam. How are you? No, it's all right. It's OK. It's under control. It's under control. Also, we'll be speaking... What?
Sean, I texted you this morning to say I'd made it back.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that, so off you hop. We'll also be speaking to Fritz Lang, the director of Metropolis.
Sean, I saw you in the hallway an hour ago and said, I'm back. You don't need to do the show.
You look great, and that's wonderful. We'll also be speaking to a robot from Metropolis.
Sean, I can host the show. It's fine. Thank you.
All right. You don't have to go on about it. Adam Hills, ladies and gentlemen.
Sean McAuliffe, everybody.
You son of a bitch.
I made it back from London! And as Sean was about to say, tonight on the show we have comedian Stephen K. Amos, Daredevil documentary maker Samour Bradley, and award-winning actress Mandy McElhinney. Plus, there's musical comedy from the Kransky sisters and a special one-on-one interview with the gods of rock, Jack Black and Kyle Gass from Tenacious D. That whole London thing was not a joke, by the way. 3 days ago, I flew to London. 2 days ago, I did a show on stage for 4 minutes. And I arrived back into Melbourne at 4:30 this morning. I had 46 hours in transit, 15 hours in London and 4 minutes on stage. To the point where when I came back, I had the same air crew that when I went over with. And as I got on the plane, one of the women looked at me and went, oh, did they not let you in the country? And I don't want to play this up, but I have actually had 12 hours sleep in 3 days. So I may stop making sense halfway through any sentence tonight. It'll be like watching Carl Stefanovic the morning after the Logies. And, of course, I didn't forget about the audience here. I brought souvenirs for you. Darren. Thank you. And I brought souvenirs tailored to our audience members because we did ask, if you had a day in London, what would you do? Where's the person that said that they would like to pick up a decent fridge magnet? Is that you, sir? Cool. Let me come over to you. What's your name? Tony. I decided to look for fridge magnets for you, and I found a Big Ben fridge magnet with a thermometer on it.
Oh, thermometer's good. It's good.
Is it just what you need?
I got a dangling leg one. It was no good.
You got a dangling leg one. Hey, there's no need to be rude. Now, Sarah Williams. Where's Sarah Williams? Is that you? OK, last time you were in London, you didn't make it to Marks and Spencer. There you go. I picked you up a pair of Marks and Spencer undies. Is this your partner? Yeah, I bought them with you in mind there, fella. Oh, a little bit lazy going on. And finally, someone by the name of Susan Turner. Is that you? Hi, Susan. Now, you said you would like to go to London for a day, hunt down Prince Harry, make him fall in love with you, and then impregnate you. You have your very own Prince Harry mask to put on the man of your choosing. And by the way, none of that happens on a day in London. It's a night in Las Vegas. And for the rest of you, I brought crisps. Seriously. Cheese and onion over there. And let's see, some pork scratchings over there. There you go. Pass them around. Are we ready for a show? Yeah! All right, let's get on with the show and welcome my wing woman, the yin to my yang, the bacall to my bogey, the cheese to my ham, Hannah Gadsby. And I didn't forget you as far as souvenirs go.
Oh, cool.
What do you get for the clumsiest woman on the planet? The woman who last week admitted knocking herself out while sneezing.
Yeah, but there was a table there. It wasn't just on air.
Well, for the clumsiest woman in the world, I have picked up a Union Jack helmet.
Oh, thank you. You're not exactly Ellen, are you?
Try it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, listen, I'm sorry that you didn't get to host the show tonight.
Oh, I'm not. Seems like a lot of responsibility.
You still have your own segment, though.
Yes, I got my own segment.
Hannah has a go.
Yep, I had a go this week.
What did you have a go at this week?
I decided I needed to have a go at self-defence. You know, I followed an incident that happened in a bar. I was out having drinks with some comedian friends, and a guy came up to me and just started, you know, asking me trick questions, just yelling, just going, "What are you, a boy or a girl?" I'm like, "Oh," but because the answer is actually technically girl, I felt quite threatened. But my mate Harley, who's here, he's our audience warm-up guy. Harley was there, and he just stood up and eclipsed the sun. Right. And look at him, he's huge. He's here, he's huge. Look at him. He just stood up, and this guy just backed off into his gender confusion. But I sort of thought, you know, I should learn to defend myself, because I don't want to hang out with Harley all the time. He's really quite dull. So I had a go at self-defence this week. I'm going to learn the art of self-defence. I'm going to learn how to unleash my inner warrior princess so I can reclaim the night in case I ever want to go out.
This is Matt Tom. He's a freestyle kickboxing champion and he's going to teach me high-level street-style self-defence. I'm going to become a human knife. Matt first tried teaching me a move called the takedown, which requires you to unleash hell on your attacker. Here I am, unleashing a kitten on a bunny rug.
We need to be a little bit more aggressive.
Okay.
I've got an idea.
Oh, don't touch me.
I needed to use my voice as a terrifying weapon, like Celine Dion.
Now, in no uncertain terms, you're saying, back off, okay?
Back off, please!
No, please.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna mess you up, dude!
I like your knife, you've got kind eyes! That's a nice balaclava, did your mum knit it?
If all else fails, try distraction.
Have you seen the film Inception? What the hell is that about?
Matt taught me to attack 4 key areas that aren't protected by muscle. Eyes, ears, throat, and groin. That's right, fellas. Turns out there's no such thing as muscly nuts.
I was having trouble being aggressive. Then Matt hit on quite a genius insult.
You look like Justin Bieber.
Right.
Out on the street, you have to use what's around you. Anything can be used as a weapon.
So we've got to go for things that are going to hurt and maim.
So anything you find on the street?
Anything.
Now I've nailed the basics to a wall, it remains to be seen whether or not I can remember self-defence when it matters most on live TV.
That helmet is starting to look very appropriate.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a man down. Do you want to see me do it? Yeah. All right. I'm now going to attempt to throw down a random attacker that I've asked to come on stage to attack me. Well, may as well get Harley. Come, Harley. My saviour. Thank you so much. Round of applause. I'm doing your job. Come at me. Sorry. That wasn't. Sorry. Come at me. Oh, yes!
Once again, Hannah has had a go and come out on top, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
My first guest tonight is a British comedian who spends so much time in Australia, he's actually started to complain about foreigners coming over here and taking our jobs. Would you please welcome Stephen K. Amos? Excellent, how are you?
Hello, Adam.
As with every show you do, you won't appear unless there's a man lying on the floor in front of you.
I like his position. Can I borrow your helmet? Sorry. But welcome home, Adam. Welcome home.
Nice to be back.
Great.
Now, while I was in Great Britain, you've been touring Australia.
I've been all over the place. In fact, I was in Perth with Hannah as well, yes.
Right.
I've been to Perth once. And I've never heard this term, Adam, cashed up bogans. I had no idea what it meant. And apparently it means those people who work underground, the bogan, that has a lot of money and they spend it willy-nilly.
Now, you've been touring the show called The Spokesman.
Yes.
Which, I believe, is an anagram for your name.
That's right. Yeah.
Stephen K. Amos.
Yeah, see what I did there?
Very clever.
Of The Spokesman.
Did you...
How long did it take you to work that out?
About 25 years. Because I didn't know, somebody told me.
Well, see, I entered your name online to see if there were other anagrams you could have gone with.
Oh.
Look, nothing really for a shaken tempos, snake mesh pot.
Oh.
Hate Ken's mop.
Yeah, I've met Ken, he's not nice.
It's his mop that's a problem.
I entered Hannah Gadsby. I'm not kidding. It's an anagram for a shy hand bang.
Wow. Pew, pew.
Well, since you're offering...
Hang on, I'll put the helmet back on. Now, your new book is out as well.
I know, I've got a book out.
I know, I've been reading. I read it on the plane.
Oh, thank you.
It's called I Used to Say My Mother Was Shirley Bassey.
Yes, yes.
Can you explain that title?
Yes, well, it's a memoir. It's not really an autobiography. And I thought, what am I going to call it? So I thought, one of the things I used to do when I was a kid, I think a lot of people do it as well, you make up little lies just to fit in. One of the lies I told my schoolmates was that my mum was indeed Shirley Bassey. Now, if you don't know Shirley Bassey, young people, Google her. She's a big diva, Welsh diva, and basically all my friends believed it. And then it could have backfired when the teachers found out and asked me to ask my mum to open the school fete. But this was in London back in the late 70s, 80s, and apparently, I don't know if you've heard this thing, back in London in those days, all black people looked the same. Yeah. So my mum opened the fete.
And did anyone twig?
No. She had a feather boa and a big hat, and they got... And this little kid was like, please sing your theme tune from the #1 hit. And Mum went, OK. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday.
Now, what amazes me, I didn't know this about your book, is that you grew up in London, I knew that, but
yes.
You went back to Nigeria for a wee while.
Yes. My parents hail from Nigeria.
So you ended up back in Nigeria...
Yeah.
Not knowing the language.
Not knowing the language.
And
not even knowing I was going.
What?
Yes, my parents, oh my God. They didn't talk to us kids. Back in the day when your parents, that's your place, this is our place. Can we discuss this? Shut up, you're dead. But nowadays, people kind of have a dialogue with their kids. And we just were on a plane one day, thinking we're going on holiday, right? I didn't pack very much, didn't say goodbye to my friends, and then we were there for a year. Yeah. And I was like, what are we doing here? Well, I've come home. Well, you may have come home. I didn't arrange this.
And the thing was, so you didn't know the language?
Didn't know the language, didn't know anything.
And I love the 3 words that you picked up. There were 3 particular words that have stayed with you.
Yeah. One of them. Well, there's quite a few, but one of the ones though, because they can always spot if you, because even though you look like you belong, they can always tell like you don't quite belong. Right, like I got a very similar story to you because I wear earrings, look very different. I arrived at customs, right, and the guy was going, "Are you a man or a woman? You're wearing earrings." I said, "Mate, I'm a bloke." He said, "Shame, with your broad shoulders and powerful legs, you make a beautiful lady." But one of the things they said to us, because me, my sister, my older brother, there's this notion that people from England, all they do is eat sandwiches, right? And the phrase was, "Aje butter," you butter eater. And that was it. What do you mean butter eater? We all eat butter. We don't eat butter here.
So that was a put-down. Butter eater was a put-down.
It was a put-down. And we thought it was like embracing us. Aje butter. Hello, that's me.
And what was the one for swagger?
Swagger. F-E-G. You've got to say it like you're singing. You can't go F-E-G. F-E-G. That's me.
Can you show the swagger?
The swagger?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, come on. What is your F-E-G?
Well, everyone's got their own, variation of swagger, but excuse me while I stand. If you're in London, a South London boy, you swagger like this. What's going on? But in Nigeria, because you want to show people you've got stuff, you just kind of go... Why are you looking at me? That's the swagger. The swagger.
Now, you mentioned that, I mean, basically, your dad, it was true, he took you guys to Nigeria without telling you were moving.
Absolutely. And about 4 years ago, I was very lucky, because we went there for a year, and we moved back to London, and then for about 20 years, didn't go back. And then a few years ago, I was very lucky enough to take them back to Nigeria, and so I said, "Oh, I'm going to take you to Nigeria."
Why'd you tell them?
Very good point. I should have just left them there. No, and we flew over West African Airlines, or... And you know how they do the announcements over the tannoy? I thought he was being quite amusing. He was going, "Good evening, welcome to West African Airlines. If you're looking for your life jacket under your seat, there is no life jacket under your seat. In the case of emergencies, if you see me screaming and running, follow, drop everything. Remove your shoes, don't wait around. In the flight deck tonight is Ikefuma Ulese Mbolu, a keen fisherman and amateur pilot." That didn't bode very well.
So, I mean, your dad sounded quite bizarre, because not only did he do that, he was a bit of a hoarder.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, God,
Not whore.
Yeah, I know.
As you would imagine, there are some great dad stories in this audience tonight as well.
Okay.
So, in fact, I'm going to start with Sam Whedon. Where are you, Sam Whedon? All right, Sam Whedon is over there. Harley, can you get a mic up to Sam, please? Basically, we asked around to see if anyone had embarrassing dad stories in the audience tonight. Sam Whedon put his hand up, and now his dad is starting to worry, I would imagine. Sam, which side of you is your dad sitting on? OK,
Yeah.
What's his name?
Peter.
Well, listen, tonight we are going to try and find the weirdest and most embarrassing father figure in the audience. By the end of the show tonight, we're going to run the first ever Golden Daddy Awards. You have been nominated. Here is the first package.
For our first nominee, Peter Whedon, a family day at the beach took an unexpected twist when he decided to make something out of sand. It was a cube. A cube that he wanted to be perfect. Peter worked on his sand cube. Minutes turned to hours, day turned to night. If his family hadn't dragged him away, he'd still be there now. Ladies and gentlemen, our first nominee for the Golden Daddy Award tonight, sculptor, visionary, perfectionist, Peter Whedon.
Are you OK, Peter?
Yes, I give anally retentive a new name.
What, cubism?
Yes.
I'll just say very quickly, I'm a young man. You should be very grateful that your dad took you to the beach, right? Because as kids, our dad put us all in the car, we drove to the beach, and he ran down the window, he went, "Look!" and we drove home again.
Stephen K. Amos, you're going to stay around for the rest of the show?
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, Stephen K. Amos! Now, you may have noticed a bit of tension in the air in the last few weeks. A bit of thunder in the sky, a bit of sexuality in the atmosphere. That's because the gods of rock, Tenacious D, have been touring Australia. I had the pleasure of sitting down in a room with Jack Black and Kyle Gass for a bit of one-on-one action last week, but before I did, I noticed there's someone in our audience tonight who claims to have a connection to Tenacious D. Where is Josh Kelly? All right, you reckon you smoked weed with Tenacious D?
Lots of weed.
All right. There's people applauding. Yeah! Yes. Man, we're going to get complaints tomorrow. Dear ABC, where is my taxpayer money going? Funding weed conversations. Yours, Tony Abbott. All right, so you reckon you smoked bongs with Tenacious D?
Yes, I have.
Because you also reckon you're a Scottish lord, is that right?
Correct.
Yes, and when you were being brought home from the hospital by your mum, she left you on a tram.
Yes, that is correct. No,
Okay.
train.
On a train?
She had to collect me from Spencer Street, lost and found, I believe.
Well, listen, not only did I catch up with Tenacious D during the week, I also tried to verify your story. Here's what happened. Jack Black, Kyle Gass, Tenacious D, pleasure to meet you.
How are you?
Up, man? It's a pleasure to be met.
Yes.
Now, if there's anyone watching, if there's anyone at all watching who's right now isn't aware of your music, how would you describe it to them?
How would you describe the music of the D? It's hard rock, you know. It's passionate music. It's just good old-fashioned rock and roll, mother.
If you could name 3 people that are the biggest influences, who would they be?
Wow. 3?
Where are we again? What country?
Australia.
Oh, yeah. AC/DC.
Yeah. Men at Work, I would say.
And Midnight Oil.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good 3.
Yeah.
Now, do you like us more?
Yeah, totally. Now, I've been listening to Rise of the Phoenix. What was the inspiration behind this album?
Well, it's a comeback. It's a classic comeback album. You know, our last album underperformed commercially, let's say it that way, because we're very proud of it. We think it is a masterpiece, the Pick of Destiny. And it's a call to arms for all those schlubs out there who have been told that they can't come back and go get a regular job.
Yep.
We say, nay, mother. How many times do I get to say mother?
As many as you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
They'll make it on for sure.
I love Australia.
I noticed you've got Dave Grohl playing drums with you on most of the tracks. Why do you keep sticking with that guy?
He's just a good kid, and we think he's got potential, and I don't know. We just keep on giving him another chance.
Keith Richards recently released a tell-all biog about the Stones, in which he told some stories about, you know, Mick Jagger. If you guys were doing that, what would you tell about each other?
I'm not going to go down that road.
Why would we do that?
It's a bad road.
You going for a scoop?
Yeah, I'm trying to dig here. I'm trying to get something.
You know, I kind of want to give him what he wants, but then at the same time, it could destroy the band.
It was destroy the book deal.
He doesn't give a shit. He's like, I don't care. Yeah, let's see this band implode right now. That's good ratings.
Listen, I want to ask you about, there's a guy that's in the audience of our show, a guy called Josh. Now, he reckons that a few years ago, he smoked bongs with you guys, and none of his friends believe him. I'm going to show you a photo. Do you recognise this man?
That poor chap. He looks like he was doing more than smoking bongs.
Do you remember a specific guy with a tattoo like that years ago in Australia?
This is going to be crazy. That guy's up in my hotel room right now.
It's not ringing any bells for me.
No memory of that guy? No, there wasn't a really drunk guy telling you about how he was a Scottish lord?
That happens like every 30 minutes. I'm sure he's telling the truth.
Yeah, he could be.
Yeah?
It's happened.
Did he inspire...
Are you trying to ensnare us in some sort of drug bust? Is that what this is all about?
Trying to help this
You're asking if he's inspired us in some way.
Yeah.
If we remember him.
Yeah.
Sadly, the answer is no.
Really?
But that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. It just means that... I don't know what it means.
And look, final question. In the Ballad of Hollywood Jack and the Rage Cage, it's a song about how you're jealous of Jack's success.
Everything in that song is true.
Okay. I was worried about that, because basically that song outlines that you're off making all your movies and making millions, and Cage is just sitting at home kind of broiling, I believe the word is. Is that the right word? Is that?
Yes.
Yeah. No. And there's someone on my show next week who's a documentary maker who went to LA to try and increase someone's you know, exposure in LA.
Yeah.
And he was told, make a sex tape.
Ah.
So my question to you is, would you consider making a sex tape?
I made one.
Really?
It hasn't taken off.
Who else was in it?
Just myself.
Okay. I think what he's trying to say is maybe you should make one right now. The tapes are rolling.
Yeah.
This could really up the ante on the...
Wow. My mic's on there.
Here we go. Oh, yeah, now we're talking. I can feel your guilt. Oh, no, not me! No, I didn't mean me! Ah!
Is anyone watching?
What do you think? Did that help our careers?
Jack Black, Kyle Gass, Tenacious D.
Let's keep this in-house, okay?
Just for us? Yeah.
You feel dirty now? Oh, sweetie, it's all right. You're still my #1, baby.
My next guest tonight is a documentary maker who was almost kidnapped in Ghana, snuck across the border into war-torn Syria, and was asked to help someone make a sex tape in Los Angeles. He's either got a keen sense of adventure or a really bad travel agent. Please welcome Samour Bradley. Welcome to the show. I'm going to say up front, with no showbiz, you know, rubbish about it, I've been watching Head First, which is your series on ABC 2. I've been absolutely loving it.
Thank you.
And the first time I saw it, I thought, this is awesome. This is absolutely brilliant. But my next thought was, who is this guy and where has he come from? So my first question for you tonight is, who are you and where have you come from? What's your background? What led you to this point?
Actually, I went to Afghanistan. I was chasing a girl over there. And I thought she was my girlfriend at the time. She went over there to be a humanitarian. And I thought, it's time to marry this girl. So I went across there thinking it's a very romantic place to get married. And about, yeah. You know what I thought? I thought it'd be a good story to tell the kids.
Yeah.
And 3 weeks later, we broke up.
Oh.
Feel free. So I was stuck in a war zone. And at that point, I was asked by these TV guys over there to make an international series about Afghanistan. And I said, I'll only do it if I'm able to jump in and do, to show the place as I've seen it, which is colourful, crazy, amazing people, and not focus on all the negative kind of stuff.
Right.
Get in behind it all. And they said yes, and that was Extreme Tourist, and the ABC saw that, and they liked that approach. And that's how I came back to Australia to do Head First.
And I guarantee right now there are girls around Australia who haven't heard anything apart from, I broke up with my girlfriend. So, for those who haven't seen it, can you explain what Head First is?
Well, Head First really is taking some of the hottest topics in Australia and kind of trying to dive headfirst into them with the people at the centre. And it's about me going on some kind of journey. So, for example, we look at social media gone mad, online internet love scammers. We go to Ghana to try and take down some scammers. We set up a sting. We follow a young fame wannabe to Hollywood, where she gets offered a sex tape, the chance to do a sex tape. I follow an Australian woman into Syria. She's looking for her dead brother.
I want to show a scene from it where you had to cross over from Turkey into Syria. Illegally in the middle of the night.
Unofficially, Adam.
Yes.
For the ABC.
Oh, OK. Sorry. Sorry, ABC. Nothing illegal was done. It was unofficial. Just like Josh over there unofficially smoked weed. This is Samour unofficially crossing the border into Syria.
We walk for about 1 kilometre. And when the border is about 100 metres away, they stop and tell me I have to run and don't stop running, even if I hear gunshots. It's one of the most terrifying runs of my life. Just when I think I can't run any further, I hear a shout in Turkish, and then...
Can I just say before we go on, that if there was a show like that on after your show tonight, on ABC 2, you'd watch that, right?
I totally would.
And tonight, actually, I do the story of transgender people, which is You know, the other ones sound confronting and dangerous, but that one was probably the most confusing and confronting that I actually did, the one tonight. Yeah.
Why so?
Because you're talking about people who are saying that they're born in the wrong body.
Yeah.
So their body says one thing, but inside is saying another.
Yeah.
I mean, the subject in Australia is so taboo that when we started trying to get people to actually come on and be part of the documentary, we really wanted children. But the subject is so taboo in Australia that no parents would let their children go on screen because they feared the persecution that would follow and the bullying.
Right.
And so we actually had to leave Australia and go to the US to meet trans teens over there. And while we were there, a young trans girl from the North Shore of Sydney actually came out publicly in one of the papers here. We contacted her straight away and said, would you be in the doco? And she said yes. So, you know, anybody who watches the documentary tonight just know how brave this young girl is.
Did you have a similar thing, Stephen? Because you did a documentary.
Used to be a woman.
It's not funny.
With the big shoulders and the legs, your idea. Because you did a documentary about young gay black youth. Was it in London? Or?
Well, yes, in London, yeah. And I got the same experience. People are very fearful of the repercussions of what happens. And it's a very, very sensitive issue that you've got to approach very, very carefully because you don't want to be displaying people as freaks or as against nature because or get into the debate of nature and nurture.
Yeah.
You want to actually talk about people who have got real experiences that you want to understand. Because I've done a lot of stuff in Thailand as well, and there's a lot of transgendered people there, but a lot of them, because they know at an earlier age and they've got access to the stuff, they can get the kind of hormone treatment earlier.
And here's the thing, it's theoretical when we talk about it, but when you spend time with these people and you spend time watching the documentary, it only takes a couple of minutes and you absolutely believe them.
I want to ask you one last thing. With all your travel, do you do a thing that I know Stephen does, which is you kind of pick up the local accents of wherever you are? Have you done that?
Yeah. I try to learn the local language. So Farsi Sabat Mikonam. I learned Persian in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And other things. But I think, yeah, I do. Well, you good at accents, are you?
Well, I'm not good. I just absorb stuff all the time, and it's quite rude. Anybody here do that? Hear an accent and just suddenly start talking like that? I checked into a hotel in Wales, and the receptionist said, "Oh, Mr. Amos, are you staying one night or two?" And instinctively, I just went, "Well, two, please." Honestly, she looked at me like I'd just taken a poo in my hand and thrown it in her face. No, she did. And to get out of it, I found myself going, "Oh, very sorry about that. What the hell are you doing? What are you doing?" So embarrassing.
Because I think you do it without even realising it. When you were in Ghana and you're talking to the Ghanaians, not the language, but I think you adopted the local accent.
Well, I actually was adopting one of the characters' accents, Michael from Chinchilla.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, and he's Queenslander, right? Now, I'm from Queensland, but he's got a really broad kind of accent.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of trying to take that on. You could probably do a Queensland accent very well, having gone to Townsville.
I've got to hear it first, though, then I can...
Mate, Stephen.
Hey, guys.
We're going to go down to the farm later on.
Right, I'll be there.
There's probably rain coming.
Rain coming when?
Yeah, it's coming from that direction, mate.
In there?
No, there.
Oh, there.
I'm so sorry, Queensland.
Head first, 9:30, ABC2. Ladies and gentlemen, Samour Bradley.
This is Andrew McNamara, ice hockey player extraordinaire. At his first game, his proud dad Paul was there, cheering him on and taking endless photos of the star player. After 20 minutes, Paul realised he hadn't been photographing Andrew at all, just someone else down there in roughly the same area. Nobody knows who Paul photographed that day. It could have been this guy, or her, or maybe even that. Nevertheless, Andrew still loves his dad, and so do we. Our second nominee, Paul McNamara.
You are now officially a nominee for the Golden Daddy. We'll find out at the end of the show whether or not you've won. Well done. All right, let's get into some music now, and it's a pleasure to welcome a trio of sisters from the musical metropolis that is Esk in Queensland. They're the Australian answer to the Kardashians. They are the Kransky sisters.
Hello. We are the Kransky sisters, and we grew up in a small town in Esk in Queensland.
Esk in Queensland.
When we were young, our mother liked to get us up early to do the chores. If the chores weren't done to Mother's liking, we'd get the wooden spoon.
Or the cheese grater. Down the back of the ankles.
It's good to be obedient, isn't it?
Mother always said, be on time.
Yes.
Do the chores and don't make up a headache.
Yes, get out of bed early. Don't lie in.
Don't lie that it was you who hid the Pix People magazine under your mattress. Go to bed early. Don't think about anything. And keep your hands outside your bed covers.
This is a song that reminds us of our mother. Can't touch this.
Can't touch this.
Go with the funk, it is said. For if you can't groove to this, you probably are dead. So wave your hands in the air. Bust a few moves, run your fingers through your hair. Can't touch this. La 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 la. I can't touch this. Push it. Push it good. I can't touch this. Gotta get up, gotta get up, gotta get up. Gotta get up, gotta get up, gotta get up. On time is right, right is on time, right time is time on right.
Thank you, ladies. I believe you just got back from, where was it this morning that you flown in from?
Singapore.
Singapore?
Yes.
We were on the ship.
Yes.
On the ship?
On the ship.
Yes.
Right. How was that trip for you?
We put the Morris underneath.
Yes.
Dawn got a touch of scurvy, but otherwise we were fine. Yes.
And you're now touring Australia. If people want to catch up with the Kransky sisters, kranskysisters.com.au, they can find all your tour dates?
That's right.
Yes.
Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, the Kransky sisters. All right, it's time to check in now on the woman who is doing for history what Clive Palmer is doing for the Titanic. Refloating it regardless of public opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Hannah Gadsby.
All right, ready? Okay, cool. All right. Hello, welcome to my segment on this day. I'm Hannah Gadsby, and it's May 22nd. Woo. First up on this day, in 1807, Philadelphia pharmacist Townsend Speakman created the first flavoured soft drink. Prior to this, everyone just drank carbonated water and went, this is physically a blast, but tastes a little bit like nothing. All Townsend did was just add some fruit juice and some sugar to the fizzy water, and the world was changed forever. Look at this lady. She loves it. Tastes like adult onset diabetes.
In 1826, the HMS Beagle departed on her maiden voyage. Here is a dramatic reenactment. It's a beagle. The beagle who took Charles Darwin on his journey of evolution revolution is the fourth most famous ship in history after the Titanic, the Death Star and, of course, the good ship Lollipop. That tragically sank in Peppermint Bay in 1937 after a devastating sherbet bombing with the death toll reaching the hundreds and thousands. On this day in 2003, the #1 women's golfer, Annika Sorenstam, teed off in a men's comp. There was a bit of controversy surrounding Sorenstam's participation, with some blokes unhappy about a lady in their midst. But Tiger Woods was supportive. And that is what's happened on this day in history. Back to you, Adam.
Thank you, Hannah. Before I introduce my next guest, let's check in on our final nominee for tonight's Golden Daddy Award.
Our final Golden Daddy nominee tonight, Maurice Molliker, worked at Australia's home of cricket, the MCG, where there was a corporate function and Maurice was manning the door. His brief, if they have a pass, let them in. He was performing his duties brilliantly, and when this young man arrived without a pass, Maurice didn't let him in. No pass, no entry. Who was that young man? It was Michael Clarke. Yes, that Michael Clarke, captain of the Australian cricket team. But then again, Michael Clarke's no stranger to rejection. Ladies and gentlemen, our final nominee for the Golden Daddy, Maurice Molliker.
And Maurice's daughter is here, I believe. Oh, terribly sorry, sir. It was the shoulders and the legs. Maurice couldn't be here tonight because he was denied entry by a bouncer out the front of the ABC. He is now officially nominated as well. Thank you. You will have to accept on his behalf if he wins the award.
Will do.
A round of applause for Maurice Molliker. My final guest tonight is an award-winning actress who has appeared in Streetcar Named Desire with Cate Blanchett, How's That with Lockie Hume, and is about to appear in Paper Giants with Rachel Griffiths. Despite all that, she's currently best known for appearing in a series of insurance commercials with a guy called Katut. Would you please welcome... Oh, look at that! Oh, please welcome the gorgeous and talented Mandy McElhinney. Thank you for coming.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
How, I mean, is that indicative of the response you get as soon as someone says Rondo? People go, oh!
Yeah, I think Katut gets more of the than Rondo.
I saw him in a women's magazine, like New Idea or something this week. It was Katut, My Baby Joy.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, he's done very well out of it.
If there's anyone, by the way, who doesn't know the ads that we're talking about, this is a photo of Mandy as Rhonda. Is it weird that's the thing that people are recognising you for? Are you OK with it?
I'm fine with it. Like, she's really well loved. It's just a character that I'm playing, you know, and people seem to like her.
It did occur to me what an achievement it is, because people generally hate ads. So to create a character on an ad that people love, that's a really huge stretch. That's a huge thing to do.
Yeah, you're right. It would be awful if it was an ad that everybody hated. I would have had to move countries or something.
You're basically up there with Mrs. Marsh and Rita the Eater Eater.
Yes!
And the weird thing is, I was in Bali last year. I didn't realise how big the ads are over there, because there are T-shirt shops everywhere with, like, Hi, I know Rhonda and Kiss Me Katut all on Did you not know this? Every T-shirt shop in Bali has big T-shirts up that say, Kiss Me Katut, Rhonda, you very hot today.
Yeah. And if you're an Australian woman, I think they just call you Rhonda no matter what.
How are your family dealing with it?
They're dealing with it very well. I've become very popular with my goddaughter and my other friends' kids. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I've started going to schools just to pick them up and, you know, and get some adoration from the kids. Yeah, and we've called it Rhonda bombing. Sorry.
So, look, let's move on to Paper Giants, which is the new series. For those who don't know the story, can you briefly explain what it's about?
Well, it's set in the 80s and 90s, so fabulous shoulder pads, things like that. And it's the war between New Idea and Woman's Day for circulation numbers. And I play one editor, Nene King. Rachel Griffiths plays the other editor, Dulcie Bowling. And yeah, it's just about the start of celebrity magazines and paparazzi, and it's really exciting.
What is Rachel Griffiths like to act with?
She's fantastic. It's an amazing transformation she makes in this. She's blonde, blue-eyed, steely, and yeah, it was just wonderful working with her.
This is a little bit of Paper Giants.
You're a piece of work.
I would calm down, Nene.
I don't want to calm down.
Then go for a walk until you do.
I don't want to go for a walk. You made me your deputy and you've never given me credit.
That's not true.
Have you looked at the masthead lately? There's one name on it.
There's always been one name.
But you act as if
I
you
didn't
wrote
say
every article and stayed up all night to print the bloody
As
thing.
editor-
When have you ever said, good job, Nene, that was a great idea?
Is the show finished?
She has a death stare, doesn't she?
She does, yeah. Yeah, she's pretty formidable.
Can you replicate it?
Show me, show me, show me.
Okay. Ooh, hatred. I don't know if that's smouldering or steely.
I don't know, I like it.
Both.
Yeah, yeah.
You met Nene King, though. What did you learn from her?
She's an incredibly passionate, fiery woman, and very open with who she is. So, you know, she's warts and all out there sort of thing. And she's seen it and she likes it. She said that I've got better legs than her, and I said, well, you've got a better chin than me, so...
It must be very weird for you, though, playing in Paper Giants, because you're playing opposite Rob Carlton as Kerry Packer. But you were nominated for the Logie playing opposite Lockie Hume as Kerry Packer. Does that kind of mess with your head when you're playing two different people who are playing the same character, who's a person in real life?
What really messed with my head was it was more or less the same set, and I was a completely different character. So, you know, Rose was, you know, a bit of a wallflower, and Nene's tearing the place apart. So it was a completely different attitude to the office. And, you know, there's one moment where someone was showing me in as Nene into Kerry's office, and I was looking at her going, that should be me, showing me in
right
to the office, you know. And Lockie and Rob are both phenomenal actors, and they do such a great but different interpretation of the same man. But, you know, one is Lockie's playing Kerry in a man's world, and Rob's playing Kerry in a woman's world, really, you know.
So what would you do then on the way to work, or once you got to work, to get yourself into the right headspace? Because often you can use your surroundings to go, OK, this is who my character is. But if the surroundings are the same as from a previous character, how do you remind yourself who you're being that day?
Well, music helps me a lot. I use my iPod a lot.
Right.
So, so yeah, before I do a take, I'll generally...
Help me, Rhonda, or something?
That's the other character.
Oh,
so, for instance, what music would you listen to when you were playing Nene King?
Well, for Nene King, I'd listen to the Divinals and, you know, like powerful rock goddesses.
Yeah. What about...
Before I go on stage, I listen to the Wiggles. I love it. Remember them?
Oh, yeah.
Do you really listen to the Wiggles?
Of course not. I was trying to get a cheap laugh.
Oh, sorry.
I'm a whore.
You are.
What do you listen to before you go on stage?
At the moment, I'm listening to... there's a song, I don't know, it's called Same Same. It's quite sad.
Right.
I can't... Everything I... No, do you know that song? Same Love, yeah.
Oh,
it's just
Same
so
Love.
powerful, and it just makes you kind of go, oh, and then go out and then go, bang!
What's weird is you actually say that. You walk out on stage and go, bang!
Can I just say very quickly, I arrived here in about February to start these tours here in Australia, and one of the first things my friend said to me is, have you seen these ads?
Really?
And I'd never seen them. Obviously, I live in the UK, and then I not only did I watch them all, I went online, see all the parodies of them. It's just gone ballistic. So when I met Mandy backstage, I was like, ah!
Mutual admiration.
Thank you.
Well, it has become... I mean, Rhonda has become such a cultural touchstone now that even before the audience knew who was on the show tonight, we had someone who had a connection to Tenacious D, but someone else here...
I haven't smoked weed with anyone here, have I?
Don't you recognise this face? I was the original Katut.
We just asked people about embarrassing moments. Someone sent in their worst ever suntan moment, saying it was such a bad sunburn it could vie for Rhonda's, and it could actually beat Rhonda's. Megan Cook, where are you? All right, Harley, can you just pop a mic up to Megan? OK, so where were you when this photo took place?
I was in Kenya.
In Kenya. OK, this is Megan's Rhonda Kenya photo.
Oh! 4 hours in the sun.
4 hours?
I fell asleep on the beach with no sunscreen on. And my sunglasses on, obviously.
Great. Was there a Katut?
No Katut.
We do have other photos from various audience members that were sent in via Twitter. Here's one.
Coconut eyes.
And this one was sent in as well. Yes, correct response, everybody. And now, Mandy, just before we go, we've been talking embarrassing dad stories tonight. What's lovely about you is you actually have the coolest dad in the world.
Yeah, well, he thought so. Yeah, I was at boarding school when I was 13, and my dad would sometimes come and, you know, see me on the weekend with my mum. They were both very good-looking people and very groovy. And my girlfriends, well, you know, fellow boarders, decided that my dad was pretty hot stuff. So, you know, he came once to see me and they said, who is that? It's my dad. I went, oh my God, he's so gorgeous! What's his name? And I was like, Dad? Andrew, everyone calls him Andy. Oh my God, that's so hot! And so they started a fan club for my dad.
Brilliant. And you know what, that also says something to me about a proper Aussie dad, because his name was Andy. So what are you going to call our daughter? I don't know, just bung an M on the front of my name. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please thank Mandy McElhinney? All right, people, it's now the moment you've all been waiting for. It's the culmination of tonight's festivities, the announcement of the Golden Daddy Award for Parental Embarrassment. Hannah, would you please accompany me to the lectern? Good evening, everyone. It's great to be here on this glittering occasion, the first ever Golden Daddy Awards. Hannah, you're looking lovely this evening.
That's right, Adam. I am. You know, Webster's dictionary defines fatherhood as being the state of being a father. I think they're right. And I think that's something that you can definitely say about all three of our nominees tonight.
The nominees for the Golden Daddy Awards are Peter Whedon, Paul McNamara, and Morris Molliker.
And the winner of the Golden Daddy for Best Dad in a Not-So-Supporting Role is the man who wouldn't leave the beach until he'd made a perfect cube, Peter Whedon.
Come on down, Peter Whedon. Come on down. And to present the daddy, would you please welcome a Daddo? It's Cameron Daddo.
Thank you. You too. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done.
Peter, is there anything you'd like to say?
Thank you, my family's all here to accept this award, and thank you for geometric shapes everywhere.
Can we have a round of applause for all our nominees, and especially our trophy girl having a rare night off from the musical Legally Blonde, Cameron Daddo.
Thank you.
Thank you, fella. Thank you.
See you later. Bye, I'm out of here.
Could you please thank all our guests for tonight? Mandy McElhinney, Samour Bradley, Stephen K. Amos, Tenacious D, the Kransky sisters, and of course, Sean McAuliffe, and my very own Kung Fu Panda, Hannah Gadsby. Next week, we'll be joined by comedian Lawrence Mooney, actor Uncle Jack Charles, actress and children's performer Justine Clark. There'll be music from Sammy J and a one-on-one interview with the host of Grand Designs, Kevin McLeod. We'd like to leave you tonight, though, with a selection of bad tanning photos, as supplied by our audience both here and online, to the accompaniment of the Kransky sisters. Thanks for watching Adam Hills Tonight. See you next week.
Is a burning thing that makes a fiery ring, bound by wild desire. I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire.